Hi everyone, welcome to the presentation of the Conquer Unlabel system. This is our mission statement. Basically what this says is that we want to revolutionize the way music and all forms of entertainment are brought to you, the consumer, and we also want to stay with Market America's mission. Our mission is very in line with Market America's. I want to go through some of the current systems of getting your music out there and how they operate. I'm going to start with major labels because that's what most people are familiar with. Now, rather than going through this whole slide, I want to give you a hypothetical situation and really give you an understanding of how this works. A label comes to an artist with a recording deal. They say, we'll give you this much up front and in advance, and in exchange, we want the rights to your songs. We want the rights to your master recordings. We want to own them. And we get to make all your decisions. We have 100% creative control over your career. We will also pay for your recording costs, which are recoupable to us. Your marketing costs, also recoupable. And all costs associated with putting out your album. But these costs are recoupable to us. So let's say that they get offered $500,000, $500,000. Sounds great. But what does this really mean? Let's say that the album goes gold. 500,000 copies of the album is sold. This equates to a total profit of $5 million. Pretty hefty sum. Looks good, right? When you break down the numbers, it's really not so good for the artist, and they're signing away their life. Let me tell you how this works. Standard statutory royalty rate for the artist is 9.1 cents per album sold. They only get to keep this if they wrote the song. The statutory royalty rate goes to the writer. So, 9.1 cents per album sold. This is not per song, this is per album. And that equates to $45,500 of that $5 million. Yikes. Now, on top of that, they owe back, this is what recoupable means, the advance, that $500,000 advance they got, the recording costs, the marketing costs, and any other costs associated with putting out the album. And in addition, they have to pay their team. For example, the manager will get 20%. That equates to $9,100 of that $45,000. In total, they owe approximately $600,000 back, and that is paid first before they see a dime. So, out of that $600,000, they're able to pay back about $45,000. What happens with the rest of that money? Well, it gets tied into their next album. You're not able to go anywhere. A lot of times you're tied in until the label is able to recoup all of their costs. And regardless, you're typically signed to multiple album deals. So the labels will control you for quite a bit of time. And even if you come up with some other way to get the money, you've built a brand now. You've worked very hard. You put out your music. You're not making money on it, but you've built a brand. You go out and you get a sponsorship. You have enough money to do your album yourself and promote it yourself effectively. Well, you can do that, but the label is still going to take the majority of the profits of your albums because you're signed into them for the length of the term. They also have 100% control over your career. You don't get to decide what songs go on the album. If you have a song that you really love, you are not able to do anything with it unless the label says so, and that's going to get shelved because they own it. In addition, the industry is at a tough time. They're not selling albums like they used to, and the majors are having difficulty even selling some of their biggest artist albums, where people used to go diamond and platinum. They're lucky if they sell 100,000 copies, or a million copies of their album. And no money for them equals no money for you. And they're also less likely to take a risk, which means no artist development. You have to have put a considerable amount of your own time, money, energy, and efforts into your career already, and then sign away most of your profits at the end of the day in order to get to the next level. The other option is going independent. what this would mean is signing with an independent label. Marketing an album is next to impossible to complete on your own. The independent label could be your own label. It's hard to do it on your own without a system to follow. It's quite a large investment. You're going to spend 6 figures of your own money to put it out, or the independent label's money, but they need to have the money there in order to make this work. A lot of times an independent label is someone who has the money to invest and is interested in making music. So they're going to spend anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. $50,000 would be to do a not-to-par job. That would basically, to be blunt, you would be doing a really bad job of creating the music, marketing, and promoting your artist. And you also need to have the right connections and know-how. You need to spend countless hours establishing the connections to get your artist booking, magazine features, radio spots. Do you really have somebody there who knows what they're doing? You're signing the same things away to an independent many times as you're signing away to a major, but without the connections, the establishment, and the know-how that a major label would offer.